Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Blockchain Advisor. Today, we're going to go through a couple of basic concepts and a couple of charts. And here I am going to share my screen with you. Today is January 30th. It's 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And let's share our screen and look at some crypto charts. So the first one I want to go through is gold. This is the SPDR or Spider Gold ETF. I'm going to pull up my screen share over here. So what we have here is the Spider GLD invests in gold, right? And you can see this thing has been on a tear since 2016, 2017. And it was down 0.38% yesterday to 254.20. And I think the gold makes an excellent hedge against inflation overall. There are some things that I think that are better, and cryptocurrency is one of them. But what I wanted to bring to your attention is the GLD, Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, the relationship between that and gold. So I'm a huge relative strength guy. And I'm going to go into what relative strength is in just a second after I'm done sharing my screen. But you can see here that if you compare relative strength, in other words, one asset class against another, it could be the S&P 500 versus QQ. It could be the 10-year bond versus 30-year bonds. It could be corn versus wheat, soybean versus oats, Apple Computer versus MicroStrategies. Like whatever you want, you can compare one asset class to another. And some of us think that it's you're comparing apples versus oranges, but we don't really care whether it's apples, oranges, crypto, or anything. We just want to make sure that we're invested in the highest relative strength asset. And so here we have GDLC versus gold. And I find it really interesting that despite all the conversation that we've had with the President Trump coming on board, the new administration, Bitcoin Reserve, Strategic Reserve, the Digital Asset Strategic Reserve Fund, like all these great conversations on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, we haven't really seen this huge flippening like I would have expected at this time in the cycle. So yes, we do have this little green box here, which means that we have a signal of GDLC versus gold. But I'm going to wait until we breach this other high and make a higher high before I flip our client accounts out of gold, GLD, back into GDLC. And I just want to let you know that here's GDLC. We're going to share this Grayscale PDF file with you. The Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund primarily invests in 74.7% Bitcoin, 16% Ethereum, 4.7% XRP, 3.67 Solana, which I love. An Avalanche, I don't know that much about Avalanche, but I'm going to dig into that at 0.59%. So what you're doing is you're getting a broad allocation to mainly Bitcoin, some Ethereum, which is lagged, XRP, which everybody's talking about, Solana, which I think is going to be the Ethereum killer, and Avalanche. Now, I love all this Grayscale products. I love what they're doing, but just know that this does have a high 2.5% annual management fee. So keep the expenses of the GDLC in mind when you're investing. And here's another chart. Here's one of my favorite charts. A lot of conversation these days about Bitcoin versus, XCN, Onyx Coin versus XRP. And here is an XRP. Why I got to get this picture of myself out of here. This is an XCN versus XRP on a 6.5% scale. And here we have, again, this incredible launch of XCN versus XRP. But now we're in a column of O's. I find it interesting. Still on a buy signal, but we're seeing some supply, some weakness in XCN versus XRP. And just to let you know that we have to keep these relative strength relationships in mind because the rate of return that you could potentially achieve by just staying in the strongest asset classes is what makes this such an exciting proposition. So I want to thank you for being here on the Blockchain Advisor and being with us this morning on January 30th. And here is just something I'm going to read about relative strength. Relative strength calculates and measures the performance of one security in comparison to another. For example, how Microsoft is comparing to the S&P 500, or how the US dollar is comparing, say, the Japanese yen or the euro. And to calculate relative strength, it's very, very simple. You just take one price of one security and divide it by another, and then you plot it on a point and figure chart. I'm very old gangster. I'm very OG. I've been in the securities and financial business since the trading business since 1981, actually 1980, when I became a runner at the Chicago Board of Trade in the soybean pit for Shearson. But anyhow, I love relative strength. It's a way of, there's only so many dollars in our accounts, but there's an unlimited number of securities and cryptocurrencies. And so let's just make sure we tilt the scales a little bit in our favor. And of course, no investment strategy is perfect. No security can, promise, upside unlimited gains. So we have to be careful, be a little bit nimble, because I think there's going to be an incredible amount of opportunity going forward in the cryptocurrency space and trading all asset classes over the next 3 to 5 years. So thank you for joining us on the Blockchain Advisor channel. Have a great day, have a profitable day, and we'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow.